Do you ever miss when we were just friends, Jess? And there wasn't this pressure to be together and to be
different people?
Yes, be different people.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 TV couple breakup scenes.
We have to break up.
Why?
I needed you around and you weren't there.
We are not trapped on this boat. You and I are trapped in this relationship.
For this list, we're looking at the most memorable television moments in which a relationship comes to an end. Some of these couples may get back together later on, but all of these breakup scenes remain heartbreaking nonetheless. Also, a spoiler alert is probably called for. Which couple could you not bear to see split? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Number 20, Ben Wyatt and Leslie Knope, Parks and Recreation. Ben and Leslie have got to be one of the cutest couples in TV history, and their breakup at the beginning of season 4 was just as sweet as they are.
What I'm about to say is going to contradict the idea that I really like you, but that
so
won't
just
change.
open the box.
Please stop breaking out the box, okay?
Leslie?
You're being really nice, and what I'm about to say is going to make you hate me.
Okay, then I'll just open the box for you.
Wow.
There was no dramatic blowout here. The pair knew that in order for Leslie to advance her career, they couldn't be together because it would be a conflict of interest. Ben gets Leslie a Knope 2012 button, and they both know that it has to end.
Leslie, everything you've accomplished, you have earned and you have worked for. I don't want anyone to think that you got where you are today by sleeping with your boss.
Despite the fact that this breakup is a mutual decision, it's still heartbreaking to watch. Thank goodness the Parks and Rec writers couldn't keep them apart for long.
I just need you to be in my life. You're too important to me.
Number 19, Willow Rosenberg and Tara Maclay, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, Tabula Rasa, is one of the show's best and most memorable, but it also contains one of the show's most difficult breakup scenes. The showrunners were working on writing one of the earliest lesbian relationships on TV, and they made Willow and Tara struggle as Willow's magical practices got out of control. Willow vows to stop using magic for a week to prove that she can, but when Willow breaks her promise, Tara leaves her. The Michelle Branch song playing in the background of this scene makes it all the more emotional in the most 2000s way possible. You were the one I loved. Number 18, Rory Gilmore and Dean Forrester, Gilmore Girls.
I love you. Rory?
If you were hit hard by your first breakup, you can definitely relate to this entry. Rory and Dean seemed like the perfect couple, and when they were celebrating an important anniversary, Dean took the moment to tell Rory he loved her.
This is not something that you think about, Rory. This is something that you either feel or you don't.
Please don't be mad.
Why? Because I say I love you and you want to think about it? I mean, go home and discuss it with your mother? Make one of your pro-con lists?
When she couldn't say it back, however, he ended things with her. Rory is at first in denial about her feelings, and is all business in her manner of dealing with the breakup, despite Lorelai's attempts to convince her to wallow accordingly.
Rory? We just broke up.
It's only a matter of time, however, and when Rory finally faces her feelings, her mom is thankfully there to comfort her, making for an emotional moment.
I'm ready to wallow now.
Number 17, Jessica Day and Nick Miller, New Girl.
Do you ever miss when we were just friends, Jess? And there wasn't this pressure to be together and to be
different people?
Yes, be different people.
It was clear from early on that these two were meant to be together, but just like most other TV couples, there had to be a few bumps along the way. At the end of season 3, Nick and Jess start talking about the future, and realize that they've had pretty dramatically different visions of how the coming years look.
Are we?
No, I love you.
Well, I love you too.
More than I've ever loved anybody.
But what if that's the only thing we have in common?
Despite the fact that they love each other more than they've ever loved anyone before, they decide to break up, because that seems to be the only thing they have in common. Seeing a couple end things when they still have such strong feelings for one another is totally heartbreaking.
So what does that mean? Are we...
Yeah.
Number 16, Jon Snow and Ygritte, Game of Thrones. The world of Westeros isn't necessarily known for its romantic subplots, but one of the sweetest couples to emerge from this dark and violent place is Jon and Ygritte.
Ygritte, you know I didn't have a choice. You always knew who I was, what I am.
The Crow and Wildling had forces working against them from the very beginning, because of the very different worlds they came from. When it finally comes time for them to part ways, Egret manages to get in one more version of her iconic line, before John tells her that he still loves her.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. I do know some things. I know I love you.
She doesn't stand down, however, and shoots him several times with her bow and arrow. Now that's one seriously messy breakup.
I have to go home now.
Number 15, Brooke Davis and Lucas Scott, One Tree Hill. As far as TV shows go, there are few as emotionally fraught as this one.
I feel like I've been keeping you close to me to try to protect you from those things. Like I'm hanging on to the two of us for you, but not for me.
One Tree Hill is full of devastating moments, but Brooke and Lucas's second breakup has got to be one of the worst, despite the fact that we always kinda knew he'd end up with Peyton.
But we go days without having a meaningful conversation. And I used to miss you so much when that happened. But it never seemed like you missed me.
Peyton was one of the major reasons that this relationship didn't work out, first because of their affair, and then because of the kiss she shared with Lucas during the school lockdown. In the end, though, Brooke ended things with Lucas for her own reasons, and assured him that it was about much more than just Peyton.
I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore.
Number 14, Elena Gilbert and Stefan Salvatore, The Vampire Diaries.
We did this. Stefan, Jenna's in the hospital, and Jeremy could be next. All because we didn't listen to her, because we're together.
Elena and Stefan were the OG Vampire Diaries couple, and you can knock yourselves out debating Stelena versus Delena in the comments, but you can't deny that this relationship was one that had us hooked and left us devastated when it ended. These two called it quits more than once, but the breakup that really gutted us was the one that took place near the beginning of season 2, when Elena decides that they need to part ways for the greater good.
I've been so selfish because I love you so much, and I know how much you love me. But it's over.
This scene is nearly impossible to watch, and every time we watch it, we're just as teary-eyed as the characters. Number 13, Kurt Hummel and Blaine Anderson, Glee. There were a lot of fan-favorite couples on Glee, but perhaps none was more beloved than this one.
I miss you like crazy, and I can't stand not talking to you even though I'm mad at you. Because you're still my best friend.
You're mine too.
From the very beginning of their courtship, viewers loved these two together, and we continued to root for them even as their journey encountered obstacle after obstacle.
What do you even want anymore? Do you even want this wedding? Do you even want to marry me?
Maybe I don't!
While they actually had a couple of serious breakups, the first one remains the one that hit us hardest. In season 4, Kurt and Blaine have been doing long distance, and Blaine suddenly admits that he has been unfaithful because he was lonely without Kurt. We can all imagine how hurtful this would be, and Chris Colfer's acting in this scene is outstanding.
I needed you. I needed you around and you weren't there. And I was lonely, and I'm really sorry.
And you don't think that I've been lonely? You don't think that I've had temptations, but I didn't act on it because I knew what it meant. It meant something horrible and awful.
I'm so sorry, Kurt. I really am.
Number 12, Blair Waldorf and Chuck Bass, Gossip Girl. We knew from the very beginning that Chuck wasn't exactly the most stand-up guy, but we couldn't help but root for him and Blair to make it work.
I love you too.
Things take a dark turn in season 3, however, when Chuck is at risk of losing his prized hotel, and Jack says that he will give it to him as long as he gets to spend a night with Blair. Just the fact that Chuck would even entertain this idea is understandably enough to make Blair furious, and she leaves him.
I never thought that the worst thing you would ever do would be to me.
You went up there on your own.
Of course, we knew it couldn't actually be the end for these two, and sure enough, by the series finale, they got there happily ever after.
And by the power vested in me by the great state of New York, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Number 11, Lily Aldrin and Marshall Eriksen, How I Met Your Mother.
You know, if you're having these kind of doubts now, what's going to change in 3 months? Maybe we just shouldn't get married at all.
Maybe not.
In the very first episode of How I Met Your Mother, Lily and Marshall get engaged, and then go on to be basically relationship goals for the rest of the series.
I know this sucks. It's just something I'm going through. I'm not asking you to understand it. I'm not asking you to be happy about it. I'm just asking you to support it.
There is one major blip, however, at the end of season 1, when Lily chooses to go to San Francisco to pursue her artistic passions, leaving Marshall behind. The breakup is a shocking one, because fans couldn't believe that these two would actually call it quits.
What if you decide to go be a painter, and then you realize I don't fit into your life anymore, and 3 months becomes forever? Can you promise me that that's not gonna happen?
Marshall.
Because if you can't promise me that, we should just break up right now. I'm not gonna wait around for 3 months just to have my heart ripped out.
The beginning of season 2 is also awful to watch, as we see Marshall trying to get over Lily and failing miserably. Barney and Robin's breakup was also tough to watch, despite the fact that they obviously weren't meant to be.
I'm tired of being canceled out.
Me too. You breaking up?
I think so.
Number 10, Dylan McKay and Brenda Walsh, Beverly Hills 90210.
I have an announcement to make.
What is it?
Dylan and I broke up last night.
Love begins to blossom between these two high school students during the first season of this iconic teen drama.
I like your butts. I mean your bike.
Oh, well, thank you. Hop on.
Their relationship faces a major hurdle when Brenda fears that she may be pregnant.
Sounds like it's that time of the month. Well, it is. And it isn't, if you know what I mean. What are you talking about? I'm 5 days late.
Although it turns out she isn't, Brenda feels that things are moving too fast and breaks things off with Dylan.
I just don't know what we're about. Like, things are happening too much, too fast. I think we need to stop seeing each other, at least for a while.
For the next few years, it appears that the young couple may potentially get back together. However, any hope for reconciliation is shattered when Dylan has an affair with Kelly, Brenda's best friend. As you can probably guess, Brenda doesn't take the news well.
Honesty? Is that what you think this is about, Dylan? I don't think so. Look, I hate you both. Never talk to me again.
Number 9, Ted Mosby and Robin Scherbatsky, How I Met Your Mother.
Well, if we'd actually moved in together, all my stuff would be here, but we didn't.
From its pilot episode, the sitcom established that Robin wouldn't be the mother of Ted's children.
Because that, kids, is the true story of how I met your Aunt Robin.
Aunt Robin?
I thought this was how you met Mom.
Despite wanting different things out of life, Ted and Robin entered a committed relationship for a whole season nonetheless. Although the audience knew this wouldn't last, there's no denying these two characters shared marvelous chemistry. Watching them inevitably break up made us feel bluer than the French horn.
You stole a blue French horn from me.
I would have stolen you a whole orchestra.
Ted and Robin would rekindle their romance in the series finale. By that point, however, we were all kind of rooting for Ted to live a happily ever after with the mother.
Funny how sometimes you just find things. Hi.
Number 8, Mindy Lahiri and Danny Castellano, The Mindy Project.
Danny! Why did you kiss me, Danny? Why did you even start this?
Mindy views her life as if it were a romantic comedy. Of course, no rom-com would be complete without a tear-jerking breakup.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. We should call it off.
Wait, what?
Just as they start to address their feelings for each other, Danny informs Mindy that he wants to keep their relationship a secret. Mindy gives Danny an ultimatum. They can either become a real couple or call things off. This backfires as Danny doesn't want to ruin their friendship.
I need to have you in my life. I have to have you.
Yeah, we've all heard that one before. Fortunately, it doesn't take too long for Danny and Mindy to finally reconcile at the top of the Empire State Building, borrowing from the classic rom-com Sleepless in Seattle in true Mindy fashion.
My heart is racing.
So is mine. I thought I lost you.
Shut up. What did you make me come to this stupid place?
Because you love it.
So I love you.
Number 7, Seth Cohen and Summer Roberts, The O.C.
Breaking up with me?
Yes, sorry. I really am, but I feel it's for the best.
What? I only unbroke up with you so that I could find out why you were breaking up with me in the first place.
I guess now you'll never know.
Seth and Summer were easily everyone's favorite couple on the OC, making this breakup especially painful to endure.
Cohen, if you don't love me, I promise I will go to Brown by myself and I will be cold and miserable and alone. But I will never bother you again.
After Summer gets into Brown, she decides to stay behind with Seth, who got rejected. Only wanting the best for his girlfriend, Seth breaks up with Summer so that she can move on to greater things. Even after Summer makes a grand romantic gesture, Seth still insists that he doesn't love her anymore.
I don't love you anymore.
While he had good intentions, lying to Summer remains one of Seth's most debatable choices.
I was 18. I just think college should come first.
Well, not if you're with the one you think you should be with, like forever be with.
You know, who really knows that at 18?
I do.
At least the truth comes out in time and the two get their happy ending.
It's time to cut ties, it won't ever free our minds.
Number 6, Aria Montgomery and Ezra Fitz, Pretty Little Liars.
Because I know that once I say what I'm about to say, I know that there's no taking it back.
Sharing an on-again, off-again relationship since the first episode of Pretty Little Liars, Aria and Ezra's romance has been a true emotional roller coaster.
We've been trying to make this work for a long time. And
what? What?
And as much as we love each other, I think we are deluding ourselves into believing that it can.
With Aria leaving for college towards the end of season 5, the couple comes to the mutual decision to make a clean break.
I think that when I go away to college, I should be single.
The end of Ezria left shippers everywhere stricken with grief. At the same time, their breakup proved to be surprisingly identifiable. It also exemplified Aria's growth, leaving high school behind and becoming an adult. Besides, we had a feeling they'd patch things up, and the two finally got their happily ever after in the series finale.
I present to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Fitz.
Number 5, Joey Potter and Pacey Witter, Dawson's Creek.
So answer me this one question, because this is what I've been wanting to ask you, Joe. Why are you with me?
Pacey.
Why are you with me? Because I don't know why I'm still with you.
As far as we're concerned, Joey, Pacey, and Dawson are still the ultimate TV love triangle. Joey would eventually choose Team Pacey, but their relationship wasn't smooth sailing from there on. With college on the horizon, Pacey starts to fear that he's not good enough for Joey. He unleashes his insecurities in the middle of senior prom, furiously rocking the boat.
We are not trapped on this boat. You and I are trapped in this relationship. I can't take it anymore, Joey. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm nothing.
Infuriated by her boyfriend's public outburst, Joey tells him to go to hell and abandons the ship.
You can go to hell.
This might have given some hope to those who were championing Team Dawson. In the end, though, Joey and Pacey reign as the Creek's definitive couple.
I want you to be with someone who makes you feel like I feel when I'm with you. So, I guess the point to this long run-on sentence that's been the last 10 years of our lives is just that the simple act of being in love with you was enough for me.
Number 4, Christina Yang and Preston Burke, Grey's Anatomy.
I'm ready. I'm fine. Meredith talked me down. Really, I'm fine. Go, go, go. I'll be right behind you.
I'm sorry.
Although Callie and Arizona's breakup hit us hard,
if you get on that plane, if you go without me, we are done. Do you hear me? We are over.
The end of Christina and Preston's relationship was an even bigger bombshell.
I scrubbed in the vows were on my hand. I scrubbed off my vows. Oh, okay. Okay, hello. I scrubbed off my vows. I can't do this.
It was a rocky road to the altar for this couple, and their nuptials didn't exactly go off without a hitch. Seeing that his apprehensive bride clearly isn't ready for marriage, Burke calls off their wedding. Of course, the real reason was because actor Isaiah Washington got fired.
We have been through a lot this year.
And everybody else turns you down.
Unable to breathe in her dress, Christina is left with a broken heart that can't be mended through modern medicine. While her romance with Preston wasn't built to last, Christina's friendship with Meredith would remain unbreakable. Number 3, Buffy Summers and Angel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I've been thinking about our future.
Buffy and Angel made for a great team, and an even greater power couple. Seeing how one is an ageless vampire and the other is a vampire slayer, though, their relationship naturally had its complications.
You deserve more. You deserve something outside of demons and darkness.
Knowing that he'll only cause Buffy more pain, Angel makes the difficult decision to break up with her and move away. Buffy can't believe this news, and the audience is just as crushed. But at least Angel is now free to pursue his own spin-off series.
So when he gets his soul back for the second time, he figures, hey, he can't be anywhere near young Miss Puppy Ties without endangering them both. So what does he do? He takes off.
Both of their shows concluded without a romantic reconciliation, but we're keeping our fingers crossed Buffy and Angel end up together in the comics.
It's a claw ring. Hands represent friendship. The crown represents loyalty. And a heart, you know.
Number 2, Carrie Bradshaw and Aiden Shaw, Sex and the City.
Aiden, look at me. Look at me before we make a huge mistake.
While Carrie and Mr. Big split up numerous times, it was her second breakup with Aiden that left us bawling.
Aiden, you're pushing me.
Well, maybe you need to be pushed. What's the big deal? It's just a stupid piece of paper.
If it's just a stupid piece of paper, then why do we need it?
After she accepted Aiden's marriage proposal, it looked like Carrie Bradshaw was officially spoken for. Alas, their engagement would only last a couple of episodes. Where Aiden is 100% ready for marriage, Carrie is unsure she'll ever be ready to tie the knot.
This isn't about you. I'm not ready for marriage.
Well, I am.
It doesn't help that Aiden could never fully trust Carrie after her affair. Unable to reach a compromise, their relationship comes to a bitter end.
I'm going to sleep in the other apartment tonight.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Just for tonight.
Well, at least it's better than getting broken up with via a post-it note.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Ross Geller and Rachel Green, Friends.
I didn't think there was a relationship to jeopardize. I thought we were broken up.
We were on a break.
That, for all I knew, could last forever. That, to me, is a break up.
While Ross and Rachel's breakup stands out as one of the most dramatic moments on Friends, it also incorporated a fair deal of humor to balance things out.
Should we do something?
Yeah, never cheat on Rachel.
Part of it derives from Rachel's animosity towards Ross after learning he slept with another woman.
Just get away from me!
It was a mistake. I made a mistake, okay?
A mistake? What were you trying to put it in? Her purse?
We also get some strong comedy from the rest of the cast, who have been trapped inside a neighboring bedroom. Ultimately, the fight works up to a devastating conclusion in which Rachel tells Ross it's over.
This can't be it.
Then how come it is?
Several years later, the two finally sorted their feelings out in the series finale. For the record, though, we still don't know whether they were on a break or not.
We were on a break!
Oh my God, if you say that one more time, I'm gonna break up with you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.